There are people who are really ambitious with their life and their goal, and they wanna be in the absolute highest tip of any mountain that could ever exist. By highest mountain, I mean in every way possible. They wanna be successful. They wanna be the one who are mostly known, the one who are mostly getting praised, or mostly got the most validation, and all of that because they had goals and ambitions. Those are the main sources. Now in the modern day, it is easy to work, but it is hard to be consistent in work. So in this video, I'm gonna teach you how you can be consistent with your work. So I won't really waste your time. If you wanna continue this video, then you should know what kind of goal that you wanna pursue and to have a plan on how you can get there. Those two are like the keys to this video. If you know them, you will understand everything in this video. And if you don't know them, then it's better off for you to know them. The first way and the best way to stay consistent is to actually have a habit tracker. A habit tracker is like the one I have over here. A habit tracker is basically a tracker that tracks the actions and the habits that you want to form. Let's say I want to form a meditation habit. What I'm going to do is look, I'm going to write here, for example, meditation, and the more I meditate on that day, I'm gonna put under it, I'm gonna put a check. And if I did not meditate, I will put a cross. And if I was forced not to meditate for any reason, it could be I was out or something, I would just leave it like that. And yeah, this is meditation, gym, waking up early, and all of that. That's basically it. This is the funnest way to you, so you can make work really easy and really fun, is to actually have this habit tracker. Because not only that it teaches you how to be consistent with your work, but also makes the work easy and satisfying, which is also important to make the work a habit. I've been using a habit tracker since I was 13. Now you can guess how old I am. Yeah. And honestly, without that habit tracker, I would have been stuck on that loop of trying to form a habit, on being motivated to do any sort of productive habit. And then at the end, I would just go back to zero again. Because I've never used the habit tracker which could track me, force me to do the action. Because I would be really shameful and very, very regretful if I put a cross on the thing that I wanted to do, or I even left it. And I will feel really, really good if I put a check next to it because I've actually did it. Some people could say that I've been using habit tracker for a while, but I haven't seen any changes into my appearance or my body if I was going to the gym, or even if in my mindset if I've been reading for a while. I want you to know that this work is not wasted. This work is being stored for later. If I got an ice cube and I put it in this desk next to me, and let's say the temperature is 21 Celsius, and then the ice cube is not melting and I want it to melt. Let's say I made the room 22, then 23, then 24, all the way till 30, and it's still not melting. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go one more step. I went on 31 and it still did not melt. And I gave up. I gave up on the purpose of making that ice melt. But if I've waited and became consistent and disciplined and went to 32, then the ice started to melt. So when you gave up, just ask yourself, do you know how far are you from your goal? From achieving this kind of achievement? Because honestly, if you gave up now, you're gonna regret it later. Because you will have someone who you're going to acknowledge that he is not as good as you, who would achieve this kind of achievement. And then when you try to investigate to see how he did this kind of achievement, you realize that he was just one step ahead at the step that you gave up in. You will never know when is the time when you will have this achievement, but you should know that the work that you put on is actually getting stored and not getting wasted. And then the second step to be consistent in work is to actually have a clear knowledge about your goal. Let's say I'm gonna tell you a story that's going to elaborate what I mean. Back in 2020, I wanted to start an agency, an advertising agency on Facebook. And I was fully committed to it. That I was already doing outreach. I was already reaching to people and telling them that I was doing advertise. And the thing is, I had absolute no idea on what kind of advert that I was gonna do, how to structure it, or how I could even use ads in the first place. I didn't even know how to do ads. And I had in mind is when I get someone, I can just hire someone from anywhere with just a cut of the money, and then I wouldn't really need to do any of the work. I realized that I was lacking so much information and knowledge around my niche or my service that I was gonna work in. But I actually started to do good once I got to know the service I was going to deliver, how I'm gonna deliver it, how I'm going to find the people, how I would cold call or send them an email or whatever. I've learned it all, and now it is crystal clear. So this is literally the most important step, is to have a clear information, a clear path on knowing what to do. You will not walk in smoke. Once there is vague or it's blurry outside, you will get hesitant. You will start to question yourself and to confuse yourself whether what you're doing is even right. So do what I did and spend just 1 week fully focusing on getting information and knowing exactly what to do to reach that level. And in my mind, all I wanted at that point was just money, and I realized money was just an advertising agency, but did not know it's a whole business model. The third way to be consistent in work is to find what distracts you. I found that what distracted me the most was my phone. And you know what I did? I took the phone, I gave it to my father, and I told him I want you to change the pin of my phone. And thankfully he did. And honestly, I don't never use that phone again. I mean, I still use him now, of course, but I've never used it while I'm working. I've literally, like, whenever I would need my phone, I would just go to him and tell him that I need to open up my phone. He would open the phone and I would use it in front of him, and then I would close it and put him next to it and just leave. And my work was so consistent because I did not have anything that distracted me from my purpose and my goal. But most importantly, is to actually know what distracts you. Yeah, it could be your phone, it could be your computer or your console, whatever, but you will not know that actually degenerate people is the most distractive thing this world could ever experience. I was so consistent with work, but I literally knew people who weren't even ambitious, and all their talks were just about games and just instant gratifications, and I'm just confused. And I realized that they are not your friends, they are just decoys. When it comes to choosing a friend, you gotta know that does he align with your goal or not? Is he the person you wanna be, or even the person who you are? Is he someone who could not be against you? Not, I don't mean against your goal, but against your view, like, or against your beliefs. If you believe that it's not okay to go out with women because you lead to instant gratification things and it's casual s, with all respect, and then he believes that it is actually inappropriate to go out with girls. If you are suffering from going out with girls and you're trying to stop it, he is a good friend to have. But if you still believe that going out with girls is something productive and he does not see it, then it's actually hard for you to hang with him. And then the final and the most important step when it comes to literally any kind of consistency work that you want to have. It could be you want to be consistent in the gym, or do you want to be consistent when it comes to reading or meditating, whatever. The most important step is willpower. And it hurts me to see that there are people who literally doesn't even know the meaning of willpower. Willpower is resisting the feeling that you are feeling in your current moment, and you are doing what is logical, what is right, not what feels right, but what is actually right. Look, I'll be honest with you, and I'm not going to hide this because this is a truth that you need to know. As a man, life is not meant to be easy. If you ever if you ever think of a billionaire or a a multi-millionaire, you would put in your mind that they don't joke around. They put that joking time by a side, and they joke in a specific way, not the way that degenerate people do nowadays. But they are very serious when it comes to their goals. They are so determined. And also, which is an important step, they are really disciplined. And by discipline, I also mean willpower. Any kind of greatness that you want to achieve, it has to be with pain. There is no pain without pleasure. And unfortunately, nowadays, everyone is pursuing pleasure. And you gotta know, the more pain you pursue, the more pleasure you will get. And the more pleasure you will pursue, the more pain you will get. Every single day, your father wakes up and goes to work and comes back from work. He is exhausted and he is angry and he is furious because of the work. If it's by his hand, he would never work again. But the thing he does is that he is very disciplined, doesn't rely on his feelings, and he actually wakes up and he actually goes to work. And even if he did, do you put in your mind that he is the man? Or is he someone who chose pleasure over the pain? Next time you feel like you want to do the right work, but you are lazy or you can't really find a motive to go work, I want you to ask yourself this question. Why am I pursuing this kind of goal in the first place? What makes me so driven to that goal? And once you know the outcome of that discipline, of that willpower, you will actually be motivated to go work. Why did I wake myself up at 3 a.m. or whenever you wake up to work? Why did I wake up myself? Because it is self-love. I'm not I'm not gonna sleep that long because I know if I wake up early while everyone is sleeping, I'll be more productive in work. So this is self-love. I love myself that I'm going to make myself achieve this kind of achievement. This kind of work is really valuable that I need to find the best time to do it. And even if you, let's say you smoke, there are times where you of course try to resist it. Why did you start to resist it? Because you love yourself, because this is self-love. You view yourself as I am the most important person in this world. So why would I stop? Because it actually harms me. And not smoking is actually good for me. Then why would I just keep smoking? I should just stop at once. And the final way to be consistent in work is to actually love the work that you do. I've mentioned in the previous steps that to love your work, you basically view the outcome of the actions that you do, and you let go of the negative view of it. As I've said, instead of seeing that I'm resisting smoke, I could see as I love myself so much that I cannot tolerate my lungs getting hurt out of that smoke. And as always, when it comes to any action that you do, whether it's good or bad, just put in your mind why. What is my why for doing this action? And once you find your why, you will find your true purpose and the true value of what you put on your work. Focus on yourself because there will be no one who will save you but yourself.